कस्तूरी तिलकम ललाट पटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम नासाग्रे वर्मौक्तिकम करतले वेणुकरे कंकणम सर्वांगे हरिचंदनं सुललितम् कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपास्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंस चानूरमर्दनम देवकी परमानंदम कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Reading from Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran. We are in Canto 8 and we have completed about 18 chapters. And today we shall take up chapter number 19, and then another 5 chapters will be left. We read Devasur Sangram, the great battle between the demoniac and the divine devatas, and how the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean, led to the emergence of the Amrit, and how there was a rush to grab the Amrit, and Lord had to incarnate as Mohini, and Mohini took every situation in control, and she could prevent the Devatas from partaking the Amrit. And then we also read about the episode in which Lord Shiv got completely infatuated by the charms of Mohini. And we also read about the various incarnations that took place in this great episode. For example, the Lord also incarnated at Kachap, the great tortoise, to support the Mandar Parvat, which was used for churning of the ocean. And Vashuki Nag acted as the rope, and other objects and personalities that emerged from the Samudra Manthan were Lord Dhanvantri, the medicine Lord, with the Amrit Kalash. Halahal Vish came first, which was consumed by Lord Shiv, because if Halahal Vish is not contained, it could have destroyed the universe. And also Kaustubh Mani and Lakshmi Ji, all these personalities and objects, and Kamdhenu, Uchchaishrava, the horse, Airavat, the elephant, they all emerge from the Samudra Manthan. So Samudra Manthan is a great episode in Bhagwat, in the stories of different Manvantars. That is what we read very blissfully. Before that, we had read the story of Gaj and Gajendra, Gajendra and Grah, the elephant and the crocodile. And then we went into the episode in which Lord appears as the Vaman avatar, the dwarf form. And in that context, we read about the story how Mother Aditi wanted a son to be born to her who can avenge the defeat from the Asuras and restore the glories to the Devatas who have been usurped by the demoniac. So how Vamandev appears in his glorious Chaturbuj form with all the Kaustubh Mani and Kundal, etc., and everyone is mesmerized, including the father, Kashyap ji. They are all dazzled by the form of the Lord, whose ornaments and the effulgence are creating such divine lights around him. And the purpose of this avatar was to win over Bali. So in no time, Lord changed himself into the form of Vaman avatar, the dwarf form. And this is only possible with the Yogmaya Shakti of the Lord, which is infinitely powerful. He can do anything. So he transformed himself into Vaman avatar in a jiffy, and now he is adorning all those majestic, you know, the dresses, etc. And how different personalities were also so mesmerized. The instruments started playing on its own. The devatas were showering flower petals, and everyone was celebrating the advent of the Lord. Everyone was so happy, and all the gifts were being showered by different personalities. Those the stories we read, and today we shall read how Bali Maharaj will be approached by the Lord. Bali Maharaj is performing a great yajna, and the Lord will go there and he will demand land only 3 steps of his, and how Shukracharya will understand the purpose of Lord's visit, and he will warn his disciple Bali Maharaj, and what all will happen, we will read in today's story. But before that, let us begin the session with a bhajan. So today I'll be trying a little bit on harmonium. So Natvar Nagar Nanda Bhajore Man Govinda. The beautiful bhajan is about chanting and glorifying the name of the Lord. Natvar Nagar Nanda, O my mind, chant and glorify the name of Govind, who is the best amongst the Rasiks and who is dressed in the sporty style of an acrobat. Sing the glories of Radha and Govind. Chant the glories of Sri Krishna, the moon of Vrindavan. Vrindavan Chanda Bhajo, Vrindavan Chanda. Natvar नटवर नागर नंदा भजुरे मन गोविंदा नटवर नागर नंदा भजुरे मन नटवर नागर नंदा भजुरे मन गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा भजो राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा भजो राधे गोविंदा वृंदावन चंदा भजो वृंदावन चंदा नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा. Vijay Bhaiya, anybody would like to sing? So it's difficult to sing and play for a novice like me now. So if anybody would try, otherwise also no issues. Okay.
I can sing if it is.
Please try, yeah. बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा. Yeah, please carry on. You are muted. Yeah.
नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। राधे गोविंदा बोलो राधे गोविंदा। राधे गोविंदा भजो राधे गोविंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। वृंदावन चंदा भजो वृंदावन चंदा। वृंदावन
चंदा भजो वृंदावन
चंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
Yeah, next page. Yeah.
बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा। बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा। यशोदा के नंदा भजो यशोदा के नंदा। यशोदा के नंदा भजो यशोदा के नंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन नटवर नागर नंदा रे मन। फिर नेक्स्ट पेज प्लीज।
There's no next page.
You can repeat this.
बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा। बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा। नटवर नागर चंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर चंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर चंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। यशोदा के नंदा भजो यशोदा के नंदा। यशोदा के नंदा भजो यशोदा के नंदा। नटवर नागर चंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर चंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा।
नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा बाल बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा। बाल मुकुंदा भजो बाल मुकुंदा। नटवर नागर नंदा नटवर नागर नंदा भजो रे मन गोविंदा। बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे। जय जय श्री राधे। जय जय श्री राधे। Our koti koti pranam to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and Sri Guru. Our koti koti pranam to Swami Mukundanand ji. My humble pranam to each one of you. And now we shall read from chapter 19 from Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran. The chapter is about the appearance of Lord Bali, Lord Vaman in the Yagyashala of Bali ji. So let us read on. Sukhdev ji continues, King Bali's promise King Bali's promise was most reassuring and confident. Pleased to hear this promise, Lord Vaman, appreciating Bali's words, said, O Rajan, your words depict the greatness of your lineage from which you hail, and it is no surprise because you revere and follow your own Guru, Bhrigu-putra Shukracharya's duties on religious matters. Also, the Param Bhakt Prahlad, your Pitama, grandfather, is your guide in spiritual duties. No Brahmin has ever returned empty-handed by any of your ancestors who have always kept their promises. Everyone knows the warrior Hiranyaksha, carrying his mace, had roamed all over the world in search of a suitable opponent to fight with, but was not able to find any. When Lord Vishnu rescued earth from the waters, it is only with very great difficulty that Lord Vishnu could defeat Hiranyaksha. Remembering Hiranyaksha's strength and valor, Lord Vishnu himself admits that he really is not victorious in his fight with Hiranyaksha. When his brother Hiranyakashipu learnt about his brother's death by Lord Vishnu, he immediately proceeded to Vaikunt to exact revenge. That Mayavi Lord Vishnu realized that his own time is not favorable for a fight, and seeing the furious Hiranyakashipu holding a shul, a spear, thought. So in the first slide, we are hearing what the Lord is responding to King Bali. In the previous chapter, King Bali had welcomed the Lord. He had come as he had appeared on the scene as a Brahmin, in a very short stature, Vaman avatar, Vaman, the dwarf form, and he was very profusely welcomed by King Bali, and he was given a great pedestal, and he had said that, "Oh Brahmin Devata, whatever you wish to ask, please ask. I will give whatever you wish to want." So now King Bali is being responded by Vamanji, who is going to give him the entire philosophy about all this, the charities, etc. And who is Baliji's guru, that is Shukracharya's. So he is talking about, some points in this slide. So let us see the. Okay, he also talked about the Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, who had been defeated by the Lord, and what a great fight it was. He mentioned. So now let us read the second slide. This the way time as death stalks all creations every single moment. This Hiranyakashipu too will keep on following me throughout. So it is best that I take residence in his own heart, where I won't be visible to him, obsessed as he is with external vision and objects. O King Bali, while Lord Vishnu was still thinking, Hiranyakashipu sighted him and rushed to attack him. The frightened Lord assumed a subtle body and entered into Hiranyakashipu as his pran air via his nostrils and settled down into Hiranyakashipu's heart. Roaring and furious, the warrior Hiranyakashipu searched for the Lord all over, including earth, heaven, the four quarters, the sky, nether world, seas, but was unsuccessful to locate the Lord. Hiranyakashipu then said to himself, "Despite me searching, I am unable to see him. So obviously that Vishnu has gone to such a place from where one never returns back ever." Seeing the enemy himself no more, Hiranyakashipu continued with his rules. "So, O king, this anger and ego is responsible for one's destruction, as it is seeped in ignorance, identifying with the physical body." So here Vaman Bhagwan is, of course, he has not revealed himself that he is the Lord. Only the qualified people are aware that he is the Lord. They have understood, but he is speaking like a Brahmin who is in a dwarf form, and he is talking about such profound knowledge that what happened to Hiranyakashipu, what happened to Hiranyaksha, and describing Hiranyakashipu's position, he is saying that Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry when his brother Hiranyaksh had been killed by the Lord in the form of Vara. So as we may recall, Hiranyaksh is the demoniac person who lifted the Bhumandal and put it in the Garbhodak ocean. So the entire Bhumandal had been drowned in the ocean. So the form of Vara, the boar avatar, was to fight with Hiranyaksha and restore the Bhumandal into its orbit. So that's what it did. But Vaman avatar is still glorifying Hiranyaksh, that he was so valiant, and even the Lord was trembling and fearing. So this is how the Lord plays the Leela. Although if Lord wants, in a second he can destroy anybody he wishes to destroy, but he creates a drama, a Leela, and that's how he is describing his experience of fighting with Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu. And also he is mentioning that Hiranyakashipu was searching for Vishnuji everywhere, but he was not finding. So what has happened is Vishnuji has taken a form, a very subtle form, and has entered the heart of Hiranyakashipu. So how will he find him anywhere else? He himself has entered Hiranyakashipu's heart. So this is what he says, and this is all possible because Lord has infinite power which can do everything that is possible or impossible. That is the Yog Maya Shakti. So now let us see the third slide. And if any one of you wants to read, please raise your hand. So after one or two slides, you can read. Now in this slide, the Lord continues to say, O Rajan, your father Virochan too was devoted to Brahmins. His enemy, the Devatas, knowing this weakness, donned the guise of Brahmins and asked his Virochan's own balance life as Bhiksha. Despite knowing their identity, the noble Virochan happily donated his remaining life years to the Devatas disguised as Brahmins. I see the same determination in you to adhere to Dharma, guided by Shukracharya and others, Bhakt Prahlad and many other successful warriors. O Daityendra, you are known as the best in generosity. Knowing this, I humbly ask you a bit of land only measuring up to my 3 steps. I also know you are capable of giving much, much more, but I don't desire much. O wise one, it is said that a person should accept only that which is minimum sufficient, which will save him from the sin of karmas. Hearing this desire, King Bali says, O Brahmin, your talk's wisdom belie your age. Since you are too young, you are incapable to know what is required for your own welfare. I not only rule and own the 3 worlds, but also the Dvipas, which I will happily donate to you. If you just ask, and you ask only 3 steps of land, O wise one, it's a fact that after receiving from me, no being has to ever ask, beg again. O Brahmin, O Brahmachari, go ahead, ask me as much land that you deem fit. So look at the beauty of the conversation. The Lord is all-knowing, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, but he is here in the disguise of a young Brahmin boy who is asking only 3 steps of land. And Bali Maharaj, who is known for his charity, he is not only the king of the Jambudvip, he is the king of all the remaining dvipas on the Bhumandal. Palaksh Dvip, Shalmali Dvip, Shaka Dvip, Pushkar Dvip, Kronch Dweep, and between the Dweep there are oceans: ocean of salt water, ocean of buttermilk, ocean of ghee, ocean of sweet water. This is the construction of the Bhumandal. In the center is Jambudvip. In the center of Jambudvip is the Sumeru Parvat, and there is the Mansottar mountain, because if you cross all the Dvipas, you reach Alok Lok Parvat. On top of that is the Mansottar Parvat, and the sun god is moving on that Mansottar Parvat on his chariot, and is also moving up and down, tied by the 2 ropes, and the ropes are made of the air. One rope is connected to the pole star right on the top, and one rope is connected to the base of the Sumeru Parvat. So this is how the Bhumandal and the solar system, all these are situated. And Bali Maharaj is the king of all Dweep, and he is willing to give him as much as the Brahmin boy would want. But the Brahmin is insisting that, why should I ask for anything else? The wise says, whatever you need, only you should wish. This is what is stated in Srimad Bhagwatam also elsewhere. Yavat dhriyeta jatharam tavat swatvam hidehi nam adhikam hi namanyeta susteno dandam arhasi. The rule is how much you need for your sustenance, only that much you have the right to consume. If you have excess, donate it. But in Kali Yuga, our mind is so reversed that we never think in those lines. In fact, we can never think that this statement is made in the Bhagavad, where the Lord is saying, only that much which is required for your food, shelter, and clothes, you rightfully have the liberty to use your wealth. Rest of the wealth you should donate. And where you should donate? You should donate in the lotus feet of the Lord. But how many of us donate even a small portion of our wealth? We can ask ourselves. So the same point the Lord is telling Bali Maharaj, who is the son of Virochan, who is the grandson of Praladji Maharaj, that that is the reason I'm not asking for much. I just want 3 steps of land. Now, this is the Leela which the Lord is playing. So let us read the next slide. Over to Vijay here.
I think Vandana and Santosh ji, they want to read.
Yes.
I'm Aradhya. That's my parents' names.
Yes, Aradhya.
Okay.
To this, the Lord Vaman replies, O Rajan, fact remains that all the opulences available in the whole world are still not sufficient to a person who does not have his own senses in control. If the 3-step plan is not enough, then even when the 9 varshas situated in one dvipa, if given, will not satisfy or content me. As then, a desire for all the 7 dvipas is bound to arise. I have heard that King Prithu, Gaya, and others who ruled over the 7 dvipas were unsatisfied even with so much of opulences and splendor. Being happy and contented with what's got through one's own destiny alone will make a person lead a successful life. And so, a person with uncontrolled senses, despite living a luxurious life, will be miserable with dissatisfaction and discontent, always playing within him. This is the main reason leading to transmigration of lives while liberation comes to a content. Person happy with whatever's available to him by destiny. A wise and contented Brahmin sees that virtues enhanced with contentment, whereas the existing virtues starting dimming, fading in an uncontented Brahman, just like water dosing a fire. So knowing this, I desire only 3 steps of land as sufficient and enough for me from your generous self. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So as we see, the conversation continues. Lord Vaman continues to demand only 3 steps. He is not going to be tempted by the offerings of Bali Maharaj, and all kinds of reasonings are being spoken. He says, as then a desire for all the 7 dvipas is bound to arise. I have heard that King Prithu, Gaya, and others who ruled over the 7 dvipas were unsatisfied even with so much of opulences. So he's giving the reasons why it is not necessary for demanding dvipas and so much of opulences, because the kings who had it, they were also not happy. They were also not contented. That is the situation of the material world. No matter how much wealth we acquire, it is not going to be solving our problems of discontentment and and the feeling that we are lacking something. All of us feel we are not complete. We still have not reached our potential. We have so much to do. We have so much to learn. I'm not as much happy as I should be. This is the position of each and every living being. So, did we ever raise a question? Why are we feeling inadequate? Why are we feeling discontented? This is a very basic question which arises in the mind of a learner in the spiritual path. And this is how the Guru explains that ask a person, why is he working so hard? Why is he preparing so much hard for his examination or for the competitive exam? So the answer will be, oh, I want to crack the examination. I want to clear the test so that I can get into a top college in the country. So what will happen if you get into the top college? So his answer will be, so that I can gain a great degree. So what happens when you gain a degree? Oh, I will acquire, I will have a great job. So what will you do with the great job? No, I will earn great money. So what will you do with so much of earning? So that I can live happily. So what is the ultimate goal? I want to live happily. That is the ultimate goal. That means everyone is feeling he is not yet happy. This is a common feeling amongst everyone. So, two questions. Why is it so that everyone is feeling we are still unhappy and we want more happiness? And the second question, why this happiness, the quest for happiness is arising in us? And these two questions we have discussed in the past sessions also. So I'll just recall and say that the reason why we are seeking happiness, the reason is we are born from happiness. We are the part of that ocean of happiness, the ocean of bliss. And why I say we are the ansh, the part of the ocean of bliss, because we are the soul and the soul is the part of God and God is the ocean of bliss. That is why he is called Satchit Anand. So because the nature of God is complete bliss, all the time happy, no stress, no negativity, and we are his part, that is why we are also seeking happiness. Whatever the qualities the Lord has, we also want to have the same quality. Lord has all the knowledge, we also want to gain knowledge. Lord has all the bliss, we also want to be blissful always. Lord has eternal life, our soul also has eternal life, but only the body is temporary. So we want eternality, we want complete knowledge, and we want complete bliss. That is because the Lord has these characters, these qualities. So one question is answered. The reason we are seeking happiness is because we are a part of that ocean of happiness. But then we don't have the knowledge of God, that God is the one who will be the answer to my quest for happiness. We are seeking happiness in material world, which is temporary, which is jad, which is not conscious, and which is limited. So the happiness which you get from the material world will be temporary, will be limited, and will not be sentient and energetic like the divine bliss. It's like eating a material rasgulla. One rasgulla satisfies us, second rasgulla is still okay, but third, fourth, fifth, sixth, the happiness starts diminishing. And if somebody keeps on forcing us to eat more rasgullas, it will even backfire and we will react. I don't want to eat so many rasgullas. Please get lost. So the same rasgulla which was giving happiness is now causing us irritation. That means the material happiness is limited. Material happiness is temporary. And it is not, like vibrant, like the blissful energy of the Lord, the bliss of the Lord, which keeps growing. The material happiness is jad. So these are the basic points which we have to remember while we are reading the conversation between Bali Maharaj and Vaman Dev. Let's move on to the next.
Yeah, so anybody wants to read? Ananya. Yeah, unmute yourself.
Smilingly saying, "O wise Brahmana, take then your 3 steps of land as per your wish." King Bali got ready to complete the ritual of consen- completing his promise. By pouring out water from his hand, Guru Sukracharya, realizing what was going on and its intention, pulled King Bali aside. "Oh my dear king, this person here himself is Lord Vishnu. He is born as Vaman to Kashyap and Aditi to help the Devtas. Without consulting me, you have unknowingly promised him, which is not fair to the Devtas. He is the Supreme Lord himself incarnate, who's going to snatch all your opulences, abode, riches, wealth, splendor, and give it to Indra. O foolish king, this tiny Brahman will expand his body and with his gigantic steps he is going to cover the 3 worlds. And when everything is snatched from you, how are you going to sustain yourself? Not only that, he will cover all the 3 worlds in 2 steps. What will you offer him for his 3rd step then? And hence, as your own promise will be unfulfilled, he could punish you to hell. The wise don't appreciate such charity donations, after which the donor falls into penury. Only after first sustaining oneself can one think about donation and charity to others. 5 types of charity are known to give happiness in this life and the afterlife. A. Some before dharma. B. Some for success. C. Some to enhance wealth. D. Some for bhog senses. E. Some for Swajan family. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. So again, the discourse, the conversation continues, and Lord is explaining the reasons that Lord has explained why he doesn't want more than three steps, and Sukracharya has understood the purpose, so he is warning his disciple Bali that this is how this Brahmin is going to snatch everything from you. He is Vishnu himself. He is in disguise. So very clearly he is giving all the reasoning to Bali Maharaj. So let's see what Baliji does in the next slide. Anyone else?
Yeah, probably I'll read this.
Please. Yeah.
O jewel of the Suras, do not worry about breaking your promise, because the Bhagwat Gita mentions giving is truth, non-giving is untruth. This physical body is a tree, and truth comes in the form of fruits and flowers from it. But if the tree itself is non-existent, then from where will come flowers and fruits? So holding back something not giving actually is safekeeping. Just as the tree drops its roots itself dry up, so too physical body will drop if we don't refuse to give. Yes, I'll give. The statement itself empties wealth, and by saying so, the giver keeps nothing for himself. And by one saying, I'll not give, safeguards the wealth, but this refusal is not to be practiced at all times. As such, will bring disrepute. Saying, I'll not give, I don't have, to flatter women, only to get a situation in control or in humor or in marriages, protecting self or beloved in extreme dangers, to protect cows and brahmanas, saving a life, saying this lie is not condemned. And then a most spectacular, extraordinary, most amazing event was witnessed by all. The tiny Vamana, right in front of everybody, grew exponentially physically, so much that within moments the Supreme Lord towered over the whole globe, skies, and 4 quarters, heaven, nether world, sea, birds, and animals. humans, devatas, and sages. All present at the sacrificial yajna saw the whole universe comprising of five gunas, five gross elements, 10 indriyas, five actions organs, and five sense organs. Mind with his four aspects and the jiva all situated within the Lord.
So wonderful. So how Lord Vaman has expanded himself, and he has covered the upper planets, the lower planets, the entire globe, and all other personalities, and everyone is just wondering, seeing this miracle. So let's see the next slide.
King Bali saw the netherworld in the Lord's souls, earth at his feet, mountains in the Lord shines, birds in his knees, 49 maruts in his thighs. His loin cloth held the sandhya, the twilights, Prajapatis in his genitals, all asuras in anus, sky in his navel, sea in his sides, nakshatra shown on his chest, Dharmadev residing in his heart, Mahalakshmi holding the lotus was seen in his vakshathal bosom, Samved in his throat, Indra and other devatas in his arms, four quarters in his ears, heaven in his crown, clouds in his look, air in his nostrils, sun is in his eyes, Agni in his mouth, Vedas in his speech, Varuna in his palate, sacred text in his eyebrows, day and night in his eyelashes, anger in his forehead, greed in his lips, love in his tactile sense, water in his generative fluid, adharma on his back, yajnas in his strides, Deth in his shadow, Maya in his smile, herbs and plants in hair of his body, rivers in arteries, rocks in his nails, Brahma and other sages in his intellect, and other sentient and insentient beings was seen by King Bali within the Lord's body.
So amazing description. You may recall earlier in the third canto we had read about the Virat Swarup of the Lord. See, when the pralaya takes place, there is nothing, and again everything appears. So the Lord's Shakti itself manifests into this world. So all those paraphernalia of the universe have been described as visible in this Virat Swarup of the Lord. So very transcendental way to meditate on the Virat Swarup that we can see in this slide. Let's see the next one. Yeah.
Seeing this most
Okay,
extraordinary.
let me read this.
Yeah, go ahead. That's right.
Okay, seeing this most extraordinary sight, the Asura army got frightened. The radiant Sudarshan disc, huge Sharang bow, the Panchjanya conch, the Kumodaki mace, armor shield, Shatachandra having the sign of 100 moons, the Vidyadhar sword, 2 quiver full of arrows, all the attendants of the Lord headed by Sunand waited upon the Lord. The Supreme Lord, wearing his gems-studded crown, bedecked with ornaments all over, wearing the Vanmala, silver flowers with bees humming over them, was a visual delight and blessing. With his first single step, Lord Vaman had entirely covered the entire globe earth with his body covering the skies and 4 quarters. As he took the second step, heaven got easily covered and there was not an atom of object space left now. So the rising foot of the Lord had easily reached up to Brahmalok after covering Maharlok, Janalok, Tapalok. So from Bhumandal, if you go upwards, you have Bhuvarlok, then Swarlok, then Maharlok, then Janalok, then Tapalok. And so all these upper planets are covered by the Lord. Let us see the next. Yeah, so that's the end of the chapter 19. What happens in his third step, we will cover in our next session. Now let us quickly go through the takeaways. So these takeaways are from Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran. second canto, second chapter 36. So it says, Tasmad sarvatmana rajan hari sarvatra sarvada shrotabhya kirtitabhyascha asmartabhyo bhagwan nirnam. O king, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. So, is there another takeaway, or is this the last
Yeah.
slide?
There's one.
One more. So, let us read this one also. So, this is 215 in the second chapter, second canto also. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Bhagwan Ishwaro Hari Shrotabhya Kirtitabhyascha Asmartabhyas Ikchatabhayam. Translation: O descendant of King Bharat, one who desires to be free from all miseries must hear about, glorify, and also remember the personality of Godhead, who is the super soul, the controller, and the savior from all miseries. So we have completed the chapter 19 about this unbelievably fascinating Leelas of the Lord, and how Lord Vaman, the dwarf Brahmin form of the Lord, took the 3 steps to cover the entire Brahmand. We will read about what happens in the next next session later. And the 2 takeaways which we covered are to remember the final message of Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran, that when Parikshit Maharaj, who is going to die in 7 days, he has been cursed that the Takshak serpent will come and will bite him. That is the curse of the Brahmin. So he has gladly accepted the curse. He is not eating any food. He is not drinking any liquid. He is so engrossed in the 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 discourse which is ongoing and the katha which he is listening from Sukhdev Ji Maharaj. So the message is, when Parikshit Maharaj is asking that a fearful person, a person who is under so many miseries, what he has to do in this Kali Yuga. So the answer is Srotabhya Kirtitabhya Asmartabhyascha Ikchatab Abhayam. If he wants to get rid of his fear, his miseries, he has to hear the Krishna Katha, he has to remember the Krishna Katha, and he has to chant the glories of Krishna. These are the 3 methods. This is called Tridha Bhakti. But Maharaji has also said that the Asmarnam Bhakti is the most important. Even if we are doing Rup Dhyan, but our mind is not working in the spiritual direction, that hearing and chanting will not work. So hearing has to be accompanied by the remembrance. The chanting has to be accompanied by the remembrance. So the most important element is remembrance. Though in Kali Yoga, the chanting and the hearing is the most favored method, and we must do that. But we must add the remembrance. If we don't remember, then we lose the merit of doing this sadhana. With that, we come to an end. So over to Vijay Bhaiya to seek any queries and any points from the participants, and also to conclude.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rajesh, with this session, and also explaining us about why we are seeking for happiness, and why we have that thing which is, something is there which is we are not able to satisfy by ourselves. So that keeps me reminding every time that we are here for a reason, not for to do what we are doing. With that, I'll just open up for any questions, any feedbacks, or anything you want to share. I see Madhu Chovanji joining today. Do you want to share anything here?
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. I do apologize. I missed a few sessions. Intention was, but I had been out of town. And I did miss the classes very much. Today's takeaway for me would be to be satisfied, really. And don't expect more than we need, really. And in our life, I think we do this, and it's very, very clearly explained in this canto or this chapter, that this is what we do. And to rise to a higher, it's practice, and practice is the only thing. And by joining this session, I enormously, Rajesh Anandji, your explanation is, is so beneficial, really, and I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and we missed you too. And let us keep soaking in this wonderful knowledge that we have discovered. And it promises to resolve every question. It promises to solve every miseries and every issues that we have. So it is so glorious, and we all must support each other to accomplish whatever we have endeavored to accomplish in this mission.
Anybody else?
Right.
Aradhya, Anya, Vanna, Smita Didi.
राधे राधे भैया।
राधे राधे।
भगवान जी के इतने विराट और अद्भुत स्वरूप का वर्णन आज आपने किया, और ये इन सभी वर्णन के बाद कुछ कहने के लिए कुछ नहीं है हमारे पास। हम सब बिल्कुल इस कथा को सुनकर अभिभूत हैं और सब विस्मय में हैं और चकित हैं। इतना कुछ सुनने के बाद कहने के लिए तो कुछ रह नहीं जाता है। हाँ, सिर्फ हम अपने मन में अभी भी उनके उस रूप को सोच रहे हैं कि कितना खूबसूरत समा बंधा होगा उस समय, जिसने भी उसका साक्षात्कार किया होगा। बहुत ही सुंदर भैया। मेरा एक छोटा सा निवेदन है कि अगर इस कथा को हम लोग अपने अगले वाले सेशन में भी फिर से दोहराएं, क्योंकि ये बहुत अच्छा लगा और लगा कि अभी भी पूरी तरह नहीं सुन पाए हैं, तो अगर हम लोग फिर से एक बार करें, यही मेरी प्रार्थना है। राधे राधे।
Radhe Radhe. Wonderful words as always, and such sentiments which Smita ji exhibits. This is very fortunate for us to create such magical moments in our session. So thank you all very much. Over to Vijay Bhaiya for concluding words and close up.
Yeah, so thank you so much again for joining, and I would also request everyone to invite others, because we are also, we are learning every day new things, and we are learning all the spiritual wisdom. So it's, whatever friends, families, your relatives, you can, just I request them to join and spend, this 1 hour session. It would be, very much, beneficial for them as well. So with that, we'll connect again at the same time next Saturday, and we'll continue with the Vamanavtar Katha. Until then, Aishwarya, do you want to?
Radhe Radhe. बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की
जय।
श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय।
जय
जय जय श्री राधे। जय जय
जय श्री राधे।
जय जय श्री राधे।
जय जय श्री राधे।
Radhe Radhe, everyone.
राधे राधे।
राधे।